We have only 4 remaining founding members in our club. Member number 1, Bob Farquhar. Member number 2, who is unable to attend tonight, Bob Dobson. Member number 19, who is unable to attend, Russell Freeman. And of course, member number 22, Ian Hurley. I would like to invite Bob, founding member number 1, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'd like to thank Robin and his wife, and for Ian and Dale, whom we've known for 50 years, and my wife Pamela, whom I haven't known for 50 years. It's very, very sad when I stand here and I look down at all the faces I see all the people of 50 years ago. And it's very sad to me to see they're not here, but you have all taken their place and you're doing a wonderful job at keeping the club going. I feel very humbled to have been asked tonight to say a few words. It was a great thing 50 years ago to be able to start this club. And I was a fireman at Hornsby Fire Station, and I was sitting there about 2:30 one afternoon talking to the station officer about forming a club. I was building an engine at the time, and I said, I'm not going to go to the council wouldn't give us nothing. And he talked me out of it, and he said, here, go and use the phone now and ring the council. So I rang the switchboard, and the girl said, just a minute, and put me through, and a lot of you would have known Bill Hull, who was a member for a very long time, and he was the Shire engineer at the time in Hornsby Council. And he said, when can you come and see me? And I said, well, I knock off in 10 minutes time, I'll come straight down. So down I went, and Bill said he was a great Western enthusiast and built quite a few engines. And the very next day, he picked me up and we looked at a block of land at Mount Cola, and we came out here, and Bill said, this is great. And I thought, yes, it's very good, but it's a long way from everybody. And I said, nobody will come out here. And Bill convinced me. He said, look, 50 years ago, everybody has a car these days. And I always remember those words because, well, just look what's going to happen tomorrow when hundreds and hundreds of people come out and ride this wonderful railway. So from very small beginnings, the Galston Valley Railway, Hornsby MES, has really gone ahead. And it's only because of all the people like yourselves who have, over the years, taken the reins, become presidents, workers and all that type of thing, that the place exists today. And if all the people, and like yourself and like Robin said, you will be able to keep this club going. And I left Sydney, thankfully, many years ago, and I've been associated with other clubs all around the countryside, but I always come back. And when I walk in here, it's just such a great feeling to see what you have all done. You haven't been idle. Every time I come here, there's something new. The new Cutcher's Crossing, or down there, wonderful thing, and all the new track and all that sort of stuff. I just feel so good for the fact that what I did start that long ago, all you people keep it going from day to day. Some of the people, I'll just quickly say, when that officer said to me, yeah, you'll be right if you go to the council, when Bill Hull showed we looked at all this, then he said you should write to the council and a letter to all the councillors at the time. So I did that, and I followed up with a call to each councillor and 7 of them were rail enthusiasts. It just couldn't get any better. And most of them had businesses in and around Hornsby, a small business like a garage or a workshop or something like that. And I went and visited them, and they all said to me, we'll back that. And within less than a few weeks it went to council, and council passed it. It was just too easy. It all just happened so good. But there was one stumbling block, and I don't know whether a lot of you people realise this. At the time, this area here was going to be the second Sydney airport. In fact, the landing lights were going to be right where you're all sitting now. And if you know the topography of the area, it's fairly flat, you know, north of here, and not much fog and all that sort of stuff. So they said, you have to go to the Galston, I can't think of the name, but it was a committee that was formed by very, very influential people in the area to fight against the second Sydney airport. So I went and saw that committee, and they were very, very formidable, I can tell you. But what they did say was, great, we'll back you all the way, because they wanted anything other than an airport, and of course eventually they won. So what I'm trying to say is it was very, very easy to get this block, you know, where at the time Luddenham were trying to go to the council, and the council were just very, very difficult with them. And I don't know whether you know this, but Luddenham have just sold their, or selling their block for millions of dollars. But anyway, that was probably nearly 50 years ago too, from memory. Anyway, so that was the story of that. Now, the railway grounds here are very unique. I've been to just about every club in Australia. I've been to lots of clubs overseas, particularly in America, and nobody, except Train Mountain in America. I don't know whether any of you have been to Train Mountain. There's a couple of blokes up the back I've been to with from Melbourne. It's quite unique. I mean, where can you sit on a little train and go for 5.5 hours without going over the same bit of track? If you get a chance to go to one of their big meets, it's just the most unbelievable place. I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry? Well, they used to have about halfway out, which was probably about 25 miles out, a siding that pulled into Whitey's hot dog stand, and you could have a nice meal and get back on your train and keep going. That's how big it was. Anyway, the grounds here were unique. It is unique, and it's made a beautiful railway. And everywhere you go, you don't see anything like this here. For example, Bill Hull, who I was telling you about, he surveyed all the track, and he came up to me and he said, Bob, we've got to turn the track around right where we are now, but it's going to be a 1 in 60 grade. And I said, no, that's too steep. We want it a bit better. So we went on a 1 in 80 grade, and right where the level crossing is was a huge tree, which we blew to bits with dynamite one day. And anyway, so that's the story. It was going to turn around here, but it now goes up there, and it's a lot easier grade. So I could tell you heaps and heaps of stories, and Leslie has put together a terrific slideshow with all the captions, and the book that they're producing, her and Tony, will be wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now, we are very lucky in this hobby, and a lot of people might not agree with me here, but they're the Association of the Australian Live Steamers. They have produced some wonderful work, particularly our boiler codes. And your boiler inspectors here would follow that very, very closely. In fact, in my travels in America and also in the UK, they are using our Australian boiler code because it's that good. And it's very easy to understand, and so it's known worldwide. So our association is very good, and as Robin said, things are tough in the future. Particularly what Robin just spoke about was insurances. The Canberra Society of Model Engineers last year paid something like $23,000 just for public risk insurance, and that's becoming very onerous for the clubs. So what the future holds, who knows? I mean, I won't be around in 50 years to come back and see it again. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for what you've been doing and keeping the dream that I had 50 years ago alive. And as I said, it's all great. You've been terrific in what you do. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Robin.